Hi, I'm artist Jenny Floravita and welcome back to my art studio. Today I'm going to show you how I painted this yellow Plumeria in watercolor. We'll go over paints and brushes and techniques to get the beautiful layering. You can see my color palette swatches right here. I'm setting up for the painting. Let's go over the colors that I'm using. This warm yellow orangey color is cadmium yellow. And then the violet color is a mixture of Winsor violet dioxide and permanent rose. I'm using permanent rose and opera pink. I'm going to use a flat brush. I like flat brushes because they create crisp hard lines, which is funny enough helps create a soft flower petal. And I'm going to be painting the shadows first. This creates the contour of the Plumeria petals. You can watch how my shadows are coming together. I'm mixing soft violets and a little bit of blue. The blue that's on my palette is cobalt blue, and then the violets are a mixture of soft Winsor dioxide, carbazole violet, and then there's a little bit of opera pink and permanent rose mixed into that little combination, and there's plenty of water, so that's a very diluted shadow color. I'm careful to look at where all of my shadows are, and I'm using those shadows to basically build the form of the Plumeria. And with the first petal in this main flower, the shadow was a little bit too purple, and I make that mistake a lot when I paint Plumerias, probably because I don't paint them every day. So I decided to go back and add a little bit more blue, and you're going to see that when the whole painting is finished, it will all work out. And I'm going to continue this technique throughout the entire portion of the plant. So now I'm taking that cadmium yellow, and it's a very warm, sunny color. It's got a lot of orange, and this is an opaque watercolor color. The hue and value is warm. I felt like this was the best yellow type color to use for the interior of this Plumeria. And I'm continuing to work with my flat brush, and I'm turning my brush on the side when I need it to give me like more of a fine, controlled, detailed line. And I'm softening out and blending out that strong yellow color with a lot of clear water. What you aren't seeing is that I'm constantly dabbing my brush on a paper towel. Now I want to start adding some nice pinks and reds into the flower petals. They're mostly pinks. It's kind of a cool color, cool in value, and the colors that I'm using the most are opera pink and then a little bit of permanent rose, and those colors have kind of intermixed on my palette, and you can see that on the right hand side. And sometimes I find it really helpful just to dab a little color away with my paper towel. Knowing how much water to have in your brush takes experience. It's different for different brushes. It's kind of different for the different papers, and it depends on what you're painting. But experience and practice will tell you how much water you need. And then when you get good at it, it's just like riding a bike. You know how much water you want. So now the back petals, those are a little bit cooler in value, and I'm using a lot of opera pink, and there's not as much yellow in them. Plumerias can have different colors on the different flowers on the same plant, so this is very common. And now I'm going to introduce a cooler yellow color, and it's semi-transparent, and it's Winsor lemon. And I have painted a lot of Plumeria paintings with this color as the primary yellow, but I find that I see it in this particular flower here and there, but primarily I'm using that cadmium yellow, which is which kind of goes more towards an orange. And the Windsor yellow is a complementary yellow color. It's a cool color in value, and just it's good to be able to have different colors, different hues, and to have, if you have a warm and a cool version of the same color. And for example, for this piece, you know, I have a warm and a cool yellow, and I have a warm and I have a cooler kind of pinkish red color. And now I'm going to introduce a little bit of red. This is called Pyro Scarlet, and it's a very nice, bright, upbeat red. And I'm going to use that for the stalk part of the Plumeria leaf and of the Plumeria plant. And I'm going to mix that with some of the different colors on my palette. There's a sap green. I'm pulling some of the violets. Rarely do my flowers have a uniform color throughout. That's just, you get really good as you practice with blending and adding different shades and different tones. And this might be a good time to point out that you'll notice my shadows were for the flowers were purple, and then the opposite color is a yellow. And then for the red stalks, the greens are a great color, and the opposite color is red from green. So it just, that color works really great with the stalk of the Plumeria flower. And I have some of the warmer reds, and the warm red color that I'm using is the Pyro Scarlet, and then the cooler red, that's actually the Permanent Rose. Permanent Rose is kind of like, it's in between a pink and a red, but it's warmer than the Opera Pink by Daniel Smith, but it's cooler than the Pyro Scarlet. And I'm doing another layer, and this part here I'm painting I'm just kind of showing you how it's all coming together really quickly. This painting took about an hour to complete, and I did it in 2 sessions. And the shadows at this point, I'm going to start adding some warm hues. So because I want them to be a little bit softer, I'm going to add in the yellow part of the flower, I'm going to add some violets. In the yellow part of the flower, I'm going to add some pinks. And this is my true work of art. My son's going to be 8 at the end of this month. It's hard to believe. So here's the completed painting. Here's the color palette. If you enjoy my work, please like and subscribe. I have an art newsletter. The link is below. I also make reverse painted glass chandeliers and oil and watercolor paintings. You can see more of my work on my website, floravitalights.com. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video.